What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and I'm here today with a review for The Oval on BET. This is season 1, episode number 17, and the episode was titled 5 Families, you guys. So yeah, let's talk about this episode. I do have one question. Actually, I have two questions. So in this one, my big question is, how many episodes in this season? Is it 25 like what was with Sisters? Let me know in the comment section below. And also, my girl Karen, if you're watching this video, please answer me this question. Please get in the comment section below. Answer me this question. In the theme song, did they give you direction to make that angry face? Because every time the theme song comes on and I see that angry face, I laugh because it's hilarious to me. But you guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this episode review real quick. Alright, you guys, so this episode, it picked up where last week's episode left off. You guys remember, Donald was choking the shit out of Lily. Lily. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, put it out there. Your elevator must not ding. Cause, yeah. This whole scene, it didn't bother me. It was just kind of, I'm like, really? Your husband is choking you. Now, he was sitting there begging with her, not to make him do it. I'm like, damn, he sounds like Ike Turner. But, she said she wasn't going to leave, and I'm like, but he was just choking you. He almost killed you, but you're not going to, run for the door, maybe find something to hit him over the head with, anything to defend yourself. And then, she proceeded to crawl out of the room towards the door. And I'm just still sitting here like, so we're not going to get up and run, Run, bitch. Come on. He tried to kill you. He really tried to kill you. Like, you ain't even you could at least pinch the bitch, slap the bitch, something, but nothing. He tried to kill you. I'm just going to keep saying that. He tried to kill you. So Donald tells her that, that if she goes to the cops, the people that he works for, they'll kill her. She'll disappear. No one will know anything about it. And do I want to say this now or do I want to hold on to this? I'm going to hold on to it for just a minute. So he tells her, they need to stay together. They need to try to have a family together. And I'm like, but you're gay. So what are you guys going to do? Do a surrogate, have in vitro? What y'all going to do? Because, obviously you're not having sex with her. But, okay. So then he tells her that there are 5 families that own everything. They own politicians. They own pretty much everything. I'm like, this sounds vaguely familiar. God, I really don't want to say this. Well, it sounds vaguely familiar, but it doesn't sound vaguely familiar. The only thing that sounds familiar for me is the whole situation of... it's not the 5 families that sounds familiar. It's really the situation of... I'm actually going to say it's Victoria's mom and dad. Victoria's mom and dad, they give me Papa Pope and Mama Pope vibes, just slightly. Only on a different scale, I guess you would say. Papa Pope and Mama Pope were both sociopaths. But Victoria's parents seem to be... we don't even know anything about Victoria's dad. But her mom is a sociopath. But her mom seems like she's on this whole upper echelon thing. So that's where I think the differences come between Victoria's mom and Olivia's mom on Scandal. So, even with the show, you can see some similarities between Scandal and The Oval, which is not a bad thing. So I don't want anybody to take that as me saying it's a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. But it's actually taking some of the things from Scandal and it's twisting it. One of the things that I think about with this show, and I have to actually commend Tyler Perry for, is the fact that he's able to write this show, especially with this tumultuous climate that we're currently in, with idiot in chief number 1, Donald Trump. I couldn't imagine writing a show about a president when you got an ass clown in office like Donald Trump. I just couldn't imagine that. I really couldn't imagine that. You got to add, like, I would actually much rather have Hunter as the president. And I actually noticed, like, last week in the credits that Hunter is the 46th president. So, so if we were going in the real world, Hunter would follow Donald Trump. And honest to God, to be honest with you guys, Hunter is not I mean, looking at Hunter, he's not that bad of a choice compared to what we do currently have in office. So I'm here for Hunter. I would be here for Hunter. Because originally when the show started, I was wondering if we were in the real timeline, what President Hunter was following. I thought he might have been following President Obama, but he's not. He's following idiot in chief number one, you guys. But let's move on to the next scene because I don't want to go too long into that. All right, you guys. So let's talk about Gail. I swear to God, Gail will get her teeth slapped down her damn throat. Just being honest with you guys, I would slap the shit out of her ass. So Jean is in the kitchen. She's cleaning. Gail comes in there. Gail has been her typical asshole self. That's not a word, but I made it up. So she goes in there. She's being actually she was being quite condescending to Jean, talking down to her. I'm like, Jean, I know you need your job, but if you don't slap the teeth out of her fucking mouth. So she's talking to her. She's telling her, I was in your trunk. I went to your place. Who's Greg? I heard you talking to Greg. She was like, okay, what did you hear us talking about? I heard you say that my mama was a bitch. True. My brother was a perv. Facts. So, what's up? So she says, I can get you fired, right? Because you're not supposed to talk about us. I mean, facts are facts. Your mama's a bitch. Your brother's a perv. You're a bit of a bitch, too. And your dad is... but that's so funny. Victoria's a bitch. And Lil Bitch is a bitch. Jason's a perv. So is Hunter. They take after their parents. They literally take after their parents. So, Gail tells Jean that she's not going to, have her fired. She's not going to turn her in. She says, because I heard you say that you felt sorry for me. Now, however, I don't need you to feel sorry for me. Girl, do you not know what the word compassion means? Compassion, empathy. Like, you don't know. There's obviously some feelings that you don't know. And again, you might be a sociopath too, just like the rest of your goddamn family. So then she asked Jean for her help, and Jean was like, what do you need me to do? She says, I need you to help me find out what happened to my boyfriend. Jean was like, how can I help you? I mean, no one's going to tell me anything. She was like, why don't you find out from your neighborhood that you live in? She was like, okay, I'll help you. Then, she says, thank you. And as Jean walks out, she calls her a bitch. I don't know if Jean heard her or not, but if I would her to call me a bitch, I would have walked right up behind her, grabbed that ponytail, swung her around. Who the fuck you calling a bitch? Who the fuck you calling a bitch? Because I got you, bitch. I can show you a bitch. Like, we can go all up and down this. We can go all around this motherfucking kitchen and I'll show you what a bitch is. Like, if you ask somebody for some help, don't be a rude ass and call them a bitch. Gosh, she gets on my nerves. But that lets you know that she's doing a good job of acting. Because I literally hate that character. Hate Gail. Sometimes I feel bad for Gail, but then other times I'm like, why do you feel bad for that little girl? So then let's move over to Hunter. So we see Hunter. So Hunter is leaving the Oval. And Kyle is there. And Hunter thanks Kyle for everything that he did. So they make it towards the room. Now, I don't know if Hunter didn't catch these signals. Because, basically Kyle was coming on to Hunter. Talking about, he could help. He's done things to help his friend when he's in need. Hunter is thinking that Kyle is talking about getting him another girl. I'm like, Hunter, you're not... Come on, Hunter. Read the room. Like, read the room. You're not catching hints that he's coming on to you? He's telling you he wants to have sex with you. And I'm just like, damn. Kyle jumps from dick to dick to dick to dick. Sad. Sad. Let's move on. All right, you guys. So now with this scene, I was actually slightly surprised that we found out this early. So Richard is okay. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Richard is fine. So Sam says that he's gonna go down to the jail and just check on Barry. I'm with Nancy. Forget Barry. What is wrong with Barry? You know what, Nancy? I can tell you what's wrong with your son. Blatant and pure stupidity. That's all it is. It's blatant and pure stupidity. Now you might ask me, JB, what do you mean by the stupidity? I'll explain it to you. He's stupid in a lot of ways. The number one way that his stupidity shows is, whenever I think about this, I just really think like, damn, how dumb can you be? So, you find buku amounts of money that you don't know where it came from, and you don't say nothing. You know what? Maybe I don't know if I was saying anything. You know what? On that note, I'm not gonna call him stupid on that one, because I would have covered the money up and figured out a way to get it out of there and figured out a way to deposit it without it looking suspicious. Yeah. So that part I can't say he's stupid on. But what I can say he's stupid about is that bloody ass fucking knife. So you find a knife that has blood on it. And I'm not talking about a little drop of blood, I accidentally cut myself. Oops, there's some blood on it. No, this knife is covered in blood, like Michael Myers. It's got Michael Myers type blood on it. Why would you then pick up that knife? Why would you pick up a bloody ass knife? If you're gonna pick it up, do something I like to call pick it up, cover up your hands so that way your fingerprints are not on the knife, because you don't know if it's a murder weapon or not. You can assume that it's a murder weapon. Then number two, don't put said knife in your jacket. You're just asking for whatever comes your way at that point, basically. Just put it out there. So yeah, that's what's wrong with Barry. It's just blatant and honest stupidity. So Priscilla is telling Nancy, let's not focus on the negative right now. Let's focus on the positive, and the positive is that Richard came through surgery and it was a success. I was like, I agree with you on that one, Priscilla. Let Barry's dumb ass be in jail for the night. Let him think about what the fuck he's done, and let's move on. So then let's move over to the pharmacy. Now, Kareem is at the pharmacy. He's bitching about, now I get it. Your pharmacy is fucked up. I understand that. Here's another situation that's actually in real time. Like, you got people, and I talked about this in my Insecure review about Shekinah, crying about the goddamn Gucci store, and then Trina on the radio talking about her friend's store. Now, with the Gucci store, they have insurance, so Gucci's gonna be fine. Now, Trina's friend, I don't know if she's gonna be fine. I don't know if she has insurance or not. If she doesn't, I really do feel bad for her. But and there are a lot of people talking about, oh, the insurance companies won't, take care of damage that was done by vandalism. Don't listen to those people, you guys. Me, as an insurance professional, I've been working in the insurance world for the last 3 years now. What I would suggest to anybody, if you've had your car, if your car has been affected through the riots, if your business has been affected, what I suggest to you guys to do is if you have your mobile app with your insurance on it, my suggestion to you guys is to just read your policy and specifically look at what in your policy. It'll have what's excluded, what's not covered. It'll tell you what's not covered, and those are called exclusions. So look in your exclusions and see what it says about I know we had a discussion today at work about because we've gotten some claims that are riot claims, and it really just mostly depends on your state. If your state will say it's not covered, check with your state. Check first, like I said, read your policy. Look at your policy. If you don't understand the policy language, reach out to, you know, reach out to your insurance agent and ask them to explain it to you. And should be able to explain it to you, no problem. If they can't explain it to you, they'll call a claims adjuster and ask the claims adjuster. Sometimes we can't, like if they call with the hypothetical question, there are times where we can't answer those questions because it's a hypothetical. But if it's an actual question that's related to a claim, they can absolutely answer that question. So that is my suggestion to anyone that is affected by the riots. Call your insurance company. Report a claim. Report a claim. They'll review the facts of loss, what we call them. They will, look at the policy, see what's covered, what's not covered. They'll look at your jurisdiction and see what the jurisdiction says. So that is my suggestion to you guys who have been affected by this stuff. Business owners, small business owners, if you have a car that's been vandalized, look into it. So there we go. Helpful answer to everybody out there. So, back to what I was saying. Kareem should just file an insurance claim. So then, Sharon's like, they both need to feel better about this whole situation that's just happened. He's like, what do you mean? She's like, taking a Valium. I'm like, damn, a Valium? Now, I've broken plenty of bones in my body. I've never taken Valium. I've taken hydrocodone. Ooh, that shit is strong. I've taken hydrocodone. I've taken, what else have I taken? Vicodin. Lord, never give me Vicodin again. That shit was strong as fuck. Man, Vicodin pills. I don't know how people get addicted to Vicodin. I don't know how. It was not for me. That high from that Vicodin was not a high that I ever wanted. That high from that hydrocodone was a nice high. I will say that. But I'm not addicted to it. Not addicted to it, but it was a good high. So then, Kareem is talking about the fact that he heard in the streets that, Barry killed Ruth. And she was like, huh? Yep, that's the word on the street. But the word on the street, I mean, okay. The word on the street is Barry killed her. But y'all don't know why it's on the street. And it's because that dumb fuck, that dumbass was carrying a knife, probably has her blood on it. I don't want to talk about him. Like, that's stupid to carry a knife in your jacket. Let's move on. But, she says she knows Barry and she just doesn't know him to do some stuff like that. I'm like, well, people, they show you what they want. They show you one face, but they have another face. If that makes sense. Probably doesn't. But let's move on, you guys. Alright, you guys. I'm so sorry that this video has a few rants in it. I didn't want to have that. But let's get back to the show. So we see both of the brats, Jason and Gail. So they're sitting and, she notices that he's on the computer. And she's like, what are you doing? He says, I'm surfing the internet. She says, how? Because every time that I go to look at the internet, it tells me I can't, what I'm looking for, it can't be found. He says, well, I have ways around that. She's like, what ways do you have around that? He says, what are you trying to find? I'm like, he doesn't ever stop being a perv, does he? Like, that is your sister, dude. Ugh. That's your sister. But I'm like, I'm pretty positive he's searching porn. Pretty positive. So he tells her that the thing is he's using Hunter's personal Wi-Fi. I'm like, okay. She's like, how did you get that? Again, he has his ways, and again, I would just let him be like, I'll be like, you know what? You got your ways. I'm gonna mind my business. So then we see Hunter, and he goes into his and Victoria's room, and he lifts up that carpet, and there is still that blood stain there. I'm like, short of hiring a hazmat team, I don't know any way you're gonna get that blood stain out without. I mean, you would literally have to lift that carpet up, and that's gonna take a while to lift that carpet up. But whatever, Hunter. So Victoria comes out of the bathroom and she tells Hunter, like, do I need to call my mother? Like, what's going on, Hunter? Keep me up, like, inform me of what's going on. And she's like, I can ask her. I can find out easily. He says, Victoria, you might not want to do that. And I was like, yeah, Victoria, you might not want to do that. You might want to do like Elsa and let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Like, all you need to do is just remember that I went in that bitch store and I whooped that bitch ass. Like, I tore that bitch up in her store. That's what you need to remember, Victoria. Remember that. You whooped her ass in the store. That's all you gotta remember, Victoria. I, Victoria Franklin, beat that hoe in her store. And let it be. So then she asked him, did he go talk to Jason? He says, no, I didn't. She says, well, you need to go talk to him. He says he might be asleep. She was like, you wake that motherfucker up then. I'm like, well, damn, she really don't give a fuck. So then Hunter does go and talk to Jason. So, Hunter wants to talk to him about what he did at, lunch with his grandmother. He's like, what are you talking about? Pleasuring yourself under the table. So I'm still confused. Not confused, disgusted. So you jacking off at a table, and there are 3 women at the table that are your family, your grandmother, your mother, and your sister. Edit. Who? Never mind. I was going to ask, was he pleasuring himself too? But I don't even want to know that. That is not something that I want to know. Let's move on. So, Hunter tells him, like, you got to stop doing that. You're going to embarrass me. He was like, oh, you want to talk? Your hoe been here plenty of times and I done saw her. He's like, you saw Denise? He says, yes, I saw her. He said, did you see her today? He says, yes, I saw her today. He said, how did you see her today when you were with your grandmother? He's like, have you been spying on me? Oh, no, I haven't been spying on you. He says, are you lying to me? He says, I'm always lying to you. I'm like, well, that is the truth, because you're lying to him right now, and I don't even know. Honestly, I don't know what to believe, because, he could be telling, what he could actually, he could literally be telling the truth that he has spied on Hunter, because, he knew so much about Gene, so it's a distinct possibility that he is telling the truth. I don't put shit past him. I really don't. So then Hunter walks out of the room. He tells Kyle, keep an eye on that motherfucker, because I think my son is spying on him. He says, no, he can't be, because we sweep the place all the time. Kyle, I will still keep an eye on that creepy dude. For real. Let's move on. Alright, you guys, so next, let's move over. Before I actually move over, you guys, I've noticed it. I really just started paying close attention to some of these characters' mannerisms. Some of these characters mimic characters from the haves and the have-nots. Victoria's character mimics Veronica. Victoria mimics Veronica. Don mimics Jeffrey. Kyle mimics Justin. And who else? I would say Denise mimicked Candace, but Candace ain't got herself killed. She's got herself in plenty of situations, but Candace has never got herself killed. But those are the top 3. Those are the top that I noticed is Victoria, Don, and Kyle. Now, speaking of Kyle and Don, Kyle said, fuck y'all. He gonna go check on his man. So he tries to, he goes there. He asks, is Lily there? Don says, no, she's not here, but you already knew that. He says, you're right, I did know that. And he tells him that Lily has driven around the precinct 3 times, but she's driven away. And, Kyle tries to go in to, console his man. Don says, back that ass up. I'm like, Don, you know you want it. Go ahead and get it. So then Kyle tells Don that, I'll take care of it. Don says, no, don't do it. She's going to come back. Kyle says, no, she's not. She's sitting in the parking lot, literally, as we speak. So then Kyle tells him, like, come on, let's go to the bedroom. He says, I want you to make me scream. I'm like, oh. That's what we're doing? So then Don calls Lily once again, but Lily does not answer the phone. But then that burner phone rang and it was Bobby. So, Bobby asks her, is she okay? She says, no, he tried to kill me. And he says, okay, well, you come to me. She says, okay. This is a man that you just had sex with in an airport bathroom. Girl, I hope this was pre-coronavirus. Hope this was pre-corona. But you had sex with him. Okay, if she feels like she can trust him, that's fine. So then she's sitting in the car, she's crying. So Sam walks into her car, he notices her, he says, are you okay? She's like, oh yeah, I just decided to take a drive to the police station. You didn't go to a friend's house, a park. That's why I say Lily's elevator must not ding, because that's the best lie you come up with. Come up with a good excuse as to why you're at the police station. There are a lot of things you could say about being at the police station. My phone was stolen, although your phone is in your car. My wallet was stolen. Something was stolen. Actually, what you could have said, what, damn. I thought I lost my purse. And, my purse, my debit card is in there. My social security card is in there. I was coming here to file a police report, and oh my God, you know what? I'm stupid. I had it on me the whole entire time. It was just sitting in my console. I was going to go somewhere, and I didn't want to take my purse in with me, and I put it in there. And then I just lost track of time, and I started freaking out about having to get home to cook dinner for Dawn. And I thought Dawn's going to be mad at me for being late home, something like that. Just any kind of excuse, but she just took a ride. She took a ride. Let's move on. All right, you guys. So then let's see. Sam, he went into the police station. He was trying to find out where Jake was, and one of the officers. She said he's in his office and he's really pissed. When they pan in that office, I'm like, he doesn't look that pissed to me. He looked like he's getting his fat ass full off that hot dog. No shade, no judgment. Just putting it out there. But Jake didn't look too upset to me. So Jake tells him, he asked, well, actually, Sam asked, how was Barry when he came? He says, well, we gave him a breathalyzer. He passed that with Frank. He passed that. So then, Barry not Barry, but Sam just wants to know what's wrong with Barry. And again, like I said earlier, the only thing wrong with Barry is pure and blatant stupidity. That's literally all that's wrong with Barry. So then, Sam asked for, can he see Barry? And, Jake was like, yeah, that's fine. He's like, can I see him in here? He's like, okay, you got it. So then he comes in there, and, Sam is telling him that, Richard is fine. His mom is at the hospital. They know everything. And, he asks him what happened. Barry tells him, he saw Kareem and Sharon having sex in there. So he just drove his car up to the window. Cool. Actually, you know what? I just thought about it. Kareem actually... Oh, never mind. Never mind. Because I was about to say, Kareem actually can file a claim under Barry's insurance policy. But they're going to deny his claim because that was an intentional act. And insurance companies... Oh, yeah. Just let you guys know that. If you guys, intentionally do something to your car, and if you actually say that, I probably shouldn't be telling you guys this. But hell, if it's an intentional act, your claim is going to get denied. Just putting it out there to you. So yeah. So he told him he drove through. So yeah, Kareem's going to have to go through his own insurance company. So then, Sam asked him, did he, do anything to Ruth? He says, no, I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't hurt a woman. And I do believe Barry. Barry just has a lapse in judgment. Is all. That's all Barry's issue is a lapse in judgment. Damn, dumb as the shit. Then let's go over here to Kyle and Don. Who Kyle is butt ass naked in Don's bed. So Don goes upstairs, and Kyle is ready to have sex, and because he's ready to congratulate him on whatever he said to Lily. I'm like, he didn't say shit to Lily. Lily ignored his call, and he says, "Well, that means she's on her way back here." He says, "Oh no, she ain't coming back here. She went south." So then they get into the mood of having sex, and Kyle says, "Hit me." I'm like, damn, what is it with rough sex? I mean, we have a lot of rough gay sex. You know, Jeffrey and what's his name? Jeffrey and Justin had rough sex. Now Kyle and Donald having rough sex. All right, if you like it, I live it. Let's move on. All right, so Barry. Now I forgot to mention before Barry went back down to his cell. Sam told him don't say anything to anybody. So then he sees someone that he knows, I guess from the neighborhood, that's cool with Picky, and the dude is telling him like, "Yo, I'm sorry about you," because he's like, "What you talking about?" He was like, "Picky. Picky got killed in the gang shootout." And then he says, and then also about Denise. He's like, "What happened to Denise?" He said they found her without her head, and they said that she was a prostitute, but we all know that that was a lie. And then the dude tells him that oh shit, I did not shave that good. We have to shave that when I get off this camera. But so he tells him that Picky was messing with Gail, and then the first lady went to Denise's shop and whooped her ass, and and now all this shit is happening. He says once he get out of here, out of jail, he done. He getting out of there. I'm like, little homie, I don't blame you. So then we see Lily. So Lily finally goes over there where Bobby is. She says, I think I was followed. He said, yeah, you were followed because they're sitting right across the street. So he asked her, what happened with your husband? She said, he told me a lot of bullshit. So he asked her, so what all did he tell you? She said that he told me that, we should stay together. And she didn't really tell him everything, about the fact about the five families. Um, and also forgot to mention that Bobby did tell her when she was at the police station that not to go in there because they do own some of the people in there. So she says that Donald wants him to get back to normal life. He wants them to have a family, and he wants for her to go back to work for Victoria. Bobby says, I agree. You should definitely do that. She's like, what do you mean? So you think I should go back to him? He says, yes. What you need to do is go back to him, get dirt on him, and then once you have enough dirt on him, get yourself out. I'm like, I don't necessarily think that's going to work. If this family is like what Donald is saying, I don't give a fuck what kind of dirt Lily gets on them. She's not going to be able to get out because if she blackmails them, they're gonna kill her and have her slip swimming with the fucking fishes. So I don't think that's gonna help her. But nice try. So then back over at the White House, Victoria and Hunter are getting ready for bed. Hunter's in bed pretending like he sleeps. She says, "So that's what we're doing." He said, "Yep, that's what we're doing." So she gets into bed and she ends up dropping her earring on the floor. Hunter tells her, "Don't do it. We'll let the maid get to it tomorrow." She's like, "I'm not leaving my grandmother's earring on the floor." He's still telling her, "Don't do it. Don't do it." I'm like, Victoria, you might want to heed his warnings. I know you don't like the bastard. I know you don't like Bastard, but listen to Bastard. Bastard is trying to tell you, stop. But she doesn't. She ends up picking up the earring, and much like a scene in a scary movie, she looks at her hand. It's blood. And that was where the episode closed out, you guys. So, be sure to like this video, leave your comments, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification button so you guys know when I drop anything else. Also, share this video. And until the next one, you guys, do me a big, big favor. Please stay safe out there, you guys. Take care of yourselves, and I will catch you guys in the next one. I'm gonna go get something to eat, and then I'll probably do Real Housewives of Beverly Hills tonight. I'm not positive. I'm off tomorrow, so it'll probably be up tonight. But until then, you guys, peace out.